had planned to announce some big news today, and with the theme of 2020, it didn't work out for today, but it should most likely be ready to announce and launch tomorrow. So I figured in this in-between space, I would post this free little flow to wind down and ground down after the holidays. So yeah, we'll get started. You just come to a comfortable seated position and allow the spine to just be nice and tall. Ground down through your sit bones and connect to the earth, to Earth's energy, imagining this grounding cord that is traveling from the base of the spine all the way down deep into the layers of the earth, all the way down to the earth's core. Feeling this support, this slowing down, this nurturance that comes with connecting to our earth. And then keeping that awareness, you'll then start to imagine from the base of the spine all the way up the spine and out the crown of the head, there's this reaching upward energy. And that's where we connect to the cosmic energy, to our higher self, to our intuition. There's a lightness, a blissfulness that comes with this. So just feeling that duality, that yin and yang energy. And then allow the shoulders to relax down away from the ears. You can allow the eyes to flutter open. And as you breathe in, just start to reach the arms up as you maybe gaze up over the fingertips. And then start to twist towards the right, allowing the hands to fall naturally, not a deep twist here. Inhale, we sweep back up through center, gaze over the fingertips, and exhale towards the left. Continuing here at your own pace, using your breath to link and guide your movement. And then next time you reach up, just bring the palms together, and as you exhale, the hands come down to heart center. Place the right hand on the ground outside of the right thigh and start to bend over to the right as the left arm comes up and over the ear. And then we swing over to the other side. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up and over. The gaze could be up, it could be straight ahead, or it can even be down at the fingers that are on the ground. And just begin to flow here, moving as slow or as quickly as you'd like. Allowing the eyes to be closed when we're in seated positions and postures is really nice to really feel into the body more deeply. And then we're gonna kind of modify this from here. Instead of arcing our arms up, we're gonna start to sweep them forward and then come into your side bend. So you're barrel rolling the chest open and then sweeping forward and then kind of rotating the whole chest upward once you arrive to each side. And then come to the center Allow the hands to just stretch out in front of you. Maybe so much so that your forehead comes down to your mat. We're in this nice seated forward fold. You can even come up onto tented fingertips. So that just means that all the fingertips are on the ground and the palm is up. And that just creates a little bit more space in the armpits. And you can even play with pushing the ground away from you, and you almost feel the sinking of the hips back a little bit more. Maybe that feels nice. Of course, Zena wants to chew her bone. Leave it, honey, leave it. Zen, come on, go in your bed, sweetie. It's too loud. It's too loud. So from this forward fold, you'll start to walk the hands over to the right and get a little bit more of a side body stretch into the left side body. Allow the head to hang heavy. Breathe into the stretch. And then start to walk the hands back through center. And then over to the other side. Breathing here. Creating space with our breath. Each inhale, there's an opening, a lengthening. And each exhale, we soften into that space. Walk the hands back through center, and then slowly walk the hands back towards your body to raise your torso back up. Beautiful. We'll come into hands and knees. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. So generally, our hips are stacked over our knees. Our shoulders are stacked over our wrists. Gaze between the thumbs. Navel's drawing slightly in and up. And then we'll start to work through cat and cow. We're gonna go through almost like a wave-like motion. So the first motion comes from the pelvis. We dip the pelvis forward, and as that starts to happen, the belly drops, the chest will pull through, and then the gaze lifts up. And then when we're ready to exhale, we tip the pelvis back, and that creates that wave so that the spine starts to round up towards the ceiling. Push through the hands, the head drops off. Inhaling, we bring the pelvis back forward, so we're starting to roll and wave forward. The gaze is up. And then exhale, you tilt the pelvis back, push through the hands, and then eventually tuck the chin. Continue for a couple of rounds here, moving at your own pace. Beautiful. We'll come to a neutral spine. You'll curl the toes under. Walk the hands one hand length forward, and then start to lift the hips up and back. So we're coming into downward facing dog here. And you're always gonna take some time in your first downward facing dog to wake up the legs and the body. So just right now, pedaling on and off the toes here. So maybe the heels draw down towards the earth, maybe they touch, maybe they don't. And we're just gonna come up onto our tippy toes and then back down. Couple of times like this. And then you'll allow the heels to become heavy again. Push the ground away from you actively with the hands so that the shoulders come up towards the ears. And then bend into the right knee, the left leg stays straight, And then switch, bend into the left knee, the right leg stays straight. Keep going here, pedaling out through the legs. Beautiful. And then come to some stillness. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Gaze up at the fingers and start to walk the feet towards the hands, coming into a forward fold. Keep the knees pretty bent here so that the torso can rest on the upper thighs. Let the head drip down and grab opposite elbows. Allow the upper body to be very heavy. Maybe you sway side to side very gently. And then release the hands back down and start to stand up vertebrae by vertebrae, engaging the core here until you're all the way up to stand. Palms face forward. Go ahead and lift all of your toes up off of the mat and then fan them out and place them back down, gently gripping into the mat. Good. Micro bend into the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up over the fingertips. Exhale, start to hinge forward to fold. Plant the hands down, step the feet back, coming into a high plank pose. Lower your knees down. Bend into the elbows to bring your chest and your chin down to the mat. Press into the tops of the feet so that the kneecaps lift off the ground. Press into the hands to lift the head, neck, and chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Exhale, lower down. Push yourself back up into a knee plank and then back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in and a big breath out. Gaze forward and step or hop to the front of the mat, coming right into a halfway lift this time so the hands can come to the shins, and we're reaching the crown of the head forward, creating this nice flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, ground down to reach up, arms come up. Exhale, dive all the way back down, forward fold. Plant the hands down, step the feet back. Lower your knees, your chest and your chin. Inhale to press through the hands, press through the tops of the feet, squeeze the shoulder blades together, cobra pose. And exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. A nice big breath in and a big breath out. We'll come down onto the knees, sitting back onto your heels. Place the palms facing up in the lap. Spine is nice and tall. Allow the eyes to flutter open and just gently swivel your hips over to the right so that the legs can come out in front of you. I'm going to face you guys. And you're going to bring your soles of your feet together and the knees come out wide. Okay? If you have blocks at home or pillows, it's really nice to prop underneath the outside of the legs here just to add some extra support if you feel you need it. I love doing that as a restorative option as well. So just inhaling here to create some length. I'm going to pull the chest forward and then we'll start to fold forward, coming to rest in whatever space feels good for you. Sending your breath to the hips, slowly start to come back up. And then bring your hands to the outside of your knees and help pull the knees back in through center. From here, your right heel is going to come towards your left sit bone. You can either stay just like this, or you can step the left foot over the right thigh. And then wrap the right arm around the left knee and begin to twist very slowly over to the left. Left fingertips just come back behind you and you just gaze wherever the neck feels comfortable. Each breath in, we create length, we grow tall. Each exhale, we soften, perhaps twisting slightly deeper. When we twist, it's really good for our digestive system. Good way to detox. Relax the muscles of the face, the jaw. Relax the shoulders. And then very slowly start to unwind and just come over to the right side and just place the hands down on the right side on the mat and just a tiny little counter twist, just gaze up. And then back through center. We'll switch out the feet. You can either just switch the feet out like we came into it before, or you can do something a little more funky. You bring your hands to the right again, and you'll start to curl the toes of the right foot under to come to stand. So you're going to unwind. You're going to be forward folding away from the camera, and then start to walk the hands, let the feet pivot, and you're going to keep going until you're all the way back on the other side, and then come to sit. And then you should have reversed your motion. So now the other leg is on the top. It's a little funky, a little tricky, but it's fun to play with. So now we'll wrap the left hand around the right knee. Inhale, you could lengthen the arm up first to create some space. And then exhale, we'll twist over to the right. And just bring your full awareness to your breath. Notice where in the body you're holding on. Where can we invite in this softness, this ease? For me, it's always the face muscles, the jaw, the throat, the shoulders. Without even realizing it, I'm holding all this tension there. So with the breath, with each exhale, can we soften a little bit further? Slowly begin to come back through center. Hands come over to the left, down onto the ground, and a little inhale, little gaze up. And then back through center. We'll end off with a forward fold. So you can bring the legs long in front of the body. The toes are pointing up. Really nice option here if you have a pillow or a blanket. It's really nice to prop up your sit bones, your hips onto the blanket, but almost just on the edge of it. If you sit too far onto it, it's not really going to do as much as you want it to. You really want to sit right on that edge of it to help bring the hips forward a little bit more. And then you can straighten the legs out, and you're more in this anterior tilt of the pelvis. If this is where you're at and you'd like to just ground the hands down onto the mat, And keep length in the spine. That's beautiful. If you'd like to start folding forward, you can. If you'd like to put a big bend into the knees today and then fold the torso onto the upper thighs, you can also do that. Our armpits actually fit very nicely into the space of the knees, and then you can let the head drip down here. So many different beautiful options. I'm just taking what you'd like to have today. Anytime the mind wanders, just gently bring it back without judgment. Very slowly start to make your way all the way up. And then all the way down onto your back. You can use blankets and pillows here as well to prop yourself up for Shavasana. Options to have the knees up, soles of the feet on the ground. Creates a lot more space in our low back. You can even allow the knees to tent in towards each other, having the feet a little bit wider. Or you can lengthen the legs long. I like to shimmy the shoulders away from my ears, create a little more space there, and then just come to rest. Allowing the gaze to become internal, feeling yourself fully supported by the ground, by the earth. Tuning into the breath. Allowing the breath to be like a wave, washing over your whole body. Inhales, it comes in through the nose, washes all the way down to the feet. Exhale, it comes all the way from the feet back up to the head. I'm just imagining this wave of breath washing away any stress, any tension, anything you're ready to let go of. To shed and release, to make space for the new. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, feel free to do so. But we're going to start to wrap up, so you can gently invite in some gentle wiggles of your fingers and your toes. Draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap your arms around yourself and squeeze, giving yourself a nice big hug. Rolling over to one side. And then pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. keeping the eyes closed, coming back to that space that we started in with that nice long spine. Place your hands at your heart center, maybe hand over heart, gently bowing the head towards the hands and the heart space. Taking a moment to fill yourself with gratitude for showing up. Gratitude for this practice of yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and stay tuned. Hopefully tomorrow I will be launching something very exciting. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day.